Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're having another long form video. I've been uploading a lot of shorts and I'm having fun with them, but I also like my traditional longer form content. So I have a fun video for you today. I'm trying out some new makeup. Most of it is just new to me, but some things are actually new to the market. I decided to mix them together, create a full face of first impressions. I don't have a full face, but you get what I mean. And yeah, let's just have some fun with makeup. If you're interested in how these products perform for me over a longer period of time, I do speed reviews at the end of every month, or at least every 4 weeks or so, and I'll tell you my updated thoughts. This is just having some fun with makeup right now. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing, because I upload every day and I do at least 2 long videos a week. So yeah, subscribe if any of that sounds interesting to you. So Glamlite always takes a little bit longer to arrive in the Netherlands, and I'm afraid some of these things are actually from collections of 2022, but I just wanted to have a play with them. So I have the Scooby-Doo palettes. I actually already tried the lashes in another video, and I have some other stuff, but let's just start with the palette. I already used this one, the Creeps and Crawls, which is a really pretty, very deep palette. And I love Glamlite because it's quite affordable, and the color stories are always really nice and the quality is good. I don't think it's weird that I picked these up even 6 months after their release, but yeah, there we go. So today I'm thinking about using this one, which looks really pretty. Oh, and this one is called the Ruh-Roh Raggy palette. So I'm going to prime my eyes using my favorite eyeshadow primer, the I Love Color Intensifying Primer from Essence. Very affordable. So these colors are very interesting because you have these lime greens, but then you have these more true greens, even more minty greens, and then you have these blue kinds of purple. I think I want to combine the purpley blues with the minty greens. So I'm going to scooch in a little bit closer. I can't actually zoom with this camera. And I'm going to take a pretty large fluffy brush from Glamlite. I guess I'm going into the lime green shade. I've been really into green eyeshadow lately. So much so that I feel like all of my shorts are about green eyeshadow. And maybe that's getting a little bit boring. So today I uploaded one about my nail polish. I'm going to deepen it up with this shade over here, which I think is just a really dark teal. I'm just tapping that in the outer corner. I guess I should have picked a different brush for this, but it works. And with circular motions, I'm blending that into the other shade. And I feel like I get a pretty decent blend, even though this color is very deep. And now that I have it on my eyes, this is actually just a really nice deep green, a forest green. That's actually really nice. I don't usually like this type of lime green, this more, what's it called, milky green. I usually prefer more bright green. But this combination of greens is looking very pretty. Now I am going to switch brushes. I'm going to take this flat, stiff packing brush, and I'm going to take the same shade and put it underneath my eyes in the outer corner. That gets so nice and dark and intense. And I'm taking another one of these small little flat packing brushes, and I'm going to add a different color. I'm going to see what it does to add this nice indigo blue to the rest of the lower lash line. Ideally, this would have been a little bit lighter, but I just wanted to see. Because I do like 2 different colors on the top and bottom of my eyes, but I like the transition to be the same color. So I'm really just testing something out here. I guess I don't really love this shade. I don't know if it's the actual shade, but it also looks a little bit powdery. Look, it went over there. And it just doesn't look quite as intense and blue as I was hoping it would. So now to put something on the lid, what shall we do? I think I'm going to go for the lime green after all. It's a little bit of a different shade for Glamlite. I don't really have these types of wow. That is amazing. I almost want to apologize to this shade for doubting that it would be this pretty. I mean, it's so multi-dimensional. It has some yellow and, I don't know, some green of course, but different types of green. That's really pretty. Now I just want to try another shade as well. So I'm going to take this one over here with the same little shader brush, and I'm going to pack that underneath the lower lash line. I just did not like that blue, but I do really like this purple sparkle. And I'm sure this would be beautiful all over the lid as well, but well, I've only got so much lid space. I do want to take my finger and take a little bit of this tealy, deep foresty green. Oh yeah, that's so beautiful. And I just want to put a little bit of that in the outer corner. You honestly only need so little of this. And I want to have giant eyes, which I can smear eyeshadow all over. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, I really like this. Now for the inner corner, wait, let me clean up my fingers. Okay, so for the inner corner, Glamlite palettes usually don't have an inner corner shade for me. I don't know what it is. They just usually don't. But I picked up something at TK Maxx, which is very suitable for this occasion, which is the ABH Moonchild highlighting palette. And this is a little bit of a throwback. I did do a short on this one last week. I never owned this and I've always wanted to, but I guess I got a little bit too late into this makeup world and this was already discontinued. But I somehow found it for, I want to say something like 10 euros. So yeah, it's really pretty. It's not quite as sparkly as I like my highlights nowadays to be, but it is very nice and colorful. And it does give a nice sheen. So I think I'm going to go into this one, which is just a beautiful pale minty shade. It's a stunning inner corner shade. I used it yesterday as well. So this shade is called Lucky Clover. And it's nice because these shades are really pale. And lots of these highlighters are actually pretty intense. But I want it to be white with a little bit of color. And I also take a little bit underneath my brows. I have no idea why I started doing this, but all of a sudden I really like it. And to make sure there's a little bit more of a transition between the inner corner and the lower lash line, I'm also going to take the shade Purple Horseshoe, which is a little bit too deep for me as an actual highlight, I think. But it could be really pretty right over there. Yes, that's really nice. All right, this is the eye look. I'm going to finish it up using some liner, lashes, cleaning up the under eyes. I have nothing new in those categories and I'll see you in a second. So I'm back. I added a lavender eyeliner in my lower waterline and a dark green one in my upper waterline. I added some black mascara from Essence and I added these wispies, and little did I know that these are not regular wispies. So I got these at TK Maxx as well, thinking that they were my favorite lashes, and they might become that. But these are the Wispies 113, which are apparently a little bit different. They're a little bit longer, I think. They're actually a pair of regular Wispies on my face palette at the moment. These are definitely a little bit shorter, but I really like these. So yeah, thanks TK Maxx for letting me discover these. So let's quickly get into some face products. I actually have two things from a brand that I don't really look at very often. So I have the Miracle Pure Skin Improving Foundation 24-hour hydration from Max Factor, which I thought was just going to be a very nice skin tint kind of thing. What is actually new, or at least my drugstore said it was, is this matching concealer. Now, I thought the shade range of the foundation was pretty good. I could find a fair one with a more warm undertone, but the concealer range was really bad. And I could only find a fair one, which wasn't even really light, in more of a pinky undertone. That's the trend right now, so it's going to be all right. Yeah, we're going to give them a try. So I'm not going to use any primer. I just want to see how this performs on its own. That's this weird kind of distributor. I have this in the shade 40 Light Ivory. I'm going to apply it with a regular foundation brush. And I swatched it in the store and I felt like this could be a little bit dark, but it was also very sheer. So I thought it was going to work, but maybe I should have gone with 30. Coverage is really light though, but not in a bad way. I actually really like the consistency. It's really thin and hydrating. It's exactly what you want in a skin tint, and I think the shade would actually be okay. It's a little bit red. I don't know if you can see over here, there's a little bit of an orangey red hue to it that I was not expecting. So maybe the shade range is not as good as I was thinking, but I think I can make this work. Alright, now that I've fully blended it out, it's very dewy, but I like it. It's a sheer coverage, I'd say. So my birthmark over here is not covered at all, but my redness is, and I definitely feel like my face is evened out, which is a lot of times exactly what I need. I just fear that this shade is a little bit deep. But like I said, in summer it may just be perfect. And I do like the lightweight feel of this product. So let's see how this concealer adds up to the mix. So this is the Miracle Pure Concealer with 24-hour hydration with hyaluronic acid and vitamin C. Like I said, it's a vegan formula. I bought shade 1, which looked a little bit pink, but like I said, that's the trend anyway. It says that it instantly brightens and conceals whilst hydrating skin for a natural, healthy looking glow. Yeah, and that sounds exactly like this skin tint looked, but I'm guessing that it's just a little bit more of a pigmented version, which is great. Yeah, definitely glowy, light coverage, but not sheer. Undertone is a little bit pink, but I think with a concealer that's better than with a foundation. I'm just going to apply this amount underneath my eyes and quickly do my brows. So it's been a good couple of minutes. I've done my brows. I've done the Pink Honey brow soap with actually something that's also new but also a repurchase. So I got this one. I think I already used it in a video. This is the Benefit Microfilling Brow Pencil in the shade Light Brown, which is perfect. So I think this concealer has been sitting long enough now. So I'm taking my 4D concealer brush. Okay, it definitely has a little bit more coverage than the skin tint, which is personally what I want in a concealer, but I don't want it to be too stark of a difference. So I think these two combine really well. I think the finish of this concealer is really pretty. I do wonder if it'll crease an insane amount, just because even after having it sit for like 3 minutes, it's still very liquidy. But that only time will tell, so you have to watch my speed reviews to find out. I will wear this makeup for the rest of the day. It's now almost 4 o'clock. I'll wear it for at least like 8 hours. So I can definitely put in a pinned comment whether this creased and whether this faded in the next 8 hours. But of course I will have to do more tests to find out what I really think. So I think I look very glowy. Alright, looking good. I actually have something else that's really new, or at least it was very new on the Boozy Shop website. And this is the LA Girl Pro Sculpt Face Palette in the shade Light. And I do think it's also supposed to color correct and conceal, but I'm just going to use it for sculpting today, and we'll use it in the next testing new makeup video as well. So of course this would have been perfect today, because there's a green in here, which would have been nice to cover up my cheeks and a little bit of a color corrector. Like I said, we'll get into the rest of this palette soon, but for today, I just want to bronze / contour my face a little bit. So I'm going in with this shade. I've always liked these type of palettes. I've never owned any, but well, LA Girl is really affordable, so I thought I could give it a try. Okay, this is looking very orange, and also it's feeling a little bit dry. Yeah, this is definitely a very warm bronzer type of thing. I'm just going to have to even it out. I'm also putting a little bit on the perimeters of my face, so this is definitely not a sculpt. I'd say this is a very warm bronze. But I'm going to take a little bit of this deeper shade, because I also feel like it's a little bit light. It's looking a little bit off. So I'm taking a little bit of that deeper shade. I'm going to blend that in. And I think that looks a lot better. So maybe the other shade was just a darker concealer shade. I don't know. But for actual sculpting, I think this deeper brown shade will work. Okay, so I'm looking a little bit too orange now, I think. I think we went too far. So I'm going to take my foundation brush. So I think that's a little bit better, but honestly, yeah, I'd skip this shade over here. It's way too orange, and I just use this one and use a little bit less of it, and then I think it'll look pretty. But yeah, I'm not sure about this palette yet. Maybe the concealer shades are really good. Maybe the correctors are really good. Can't talk about those yet, but I'd say this one was very disappointing and this one was just okay. So I think I need a little bit of powder, and I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution. I'm just going to take the pressed side. Tiny little bit of creasing. Nothing major. And I must say, this concealer does not feel as slippery anymore. So I think it does set down a little bit on its own. Just need a little bit of shine control. And I feel like this white powder will lighten it up a little bit, which I can also use. So I'm using the pressed powder underneath my eyes. And actually, I'm just going to lightly set my entire face today. I'm going to take a brush that I don't use very often, which is my big powder brush. I just feel like I'm a little bit too shiny all over. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. I still see a lot of shine, which is nice. This is actually a really nice light powder, especially the pressed version. It's the same powder, but the loose one is just a little bit heavy. For blush, we're going in with a K-beauty brand again. This is ABH. And again, the packaging is really pretty. The shade that I have is Guava. There's actually a really cool toned mauvey purpley kind of shade that I'm also really interested in, but I wanted to try this one first. So it's a little circle. Oh, I think it's just a powder. I thought it was going to be more of a jelly kind of thing. I think this color, this is just stunning with this type of look, and I wear this type of look all the time. So I wanted something that was a little bit peachy, but also a little bit rosy and not too intense. So I think this is perfect. I'm just taking some on this Real Techniques brush. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. I think it's sort of a satin. It's not extremely glowy, but it's definitely not matte either. I think it's a little bit more peachy than I realized, but it is light. And it does look really natural on me. Alright, really nice. I'm really starting to like these K-beauty products. The Juicy Bang, this is called. Okay. Now for highlight, we can go back into our Moonchild palette, of course, and use the green or the blue. And I'm feeling the blue. The shade is called Blue Ice. Oh, that's nice. This is actually the perfect shade of blue for this eye look. It's a little bit purple. And this highlight specifically, this color, it's a little bit iridescent. I really like it. It has tiny sparkles as well. I think this is a really pretty one. Let me just freshen up those inner corners. Alright, I finished up the eyes. I lowered the lower lash line a little bit. May have gone a little bit too far, but I really love the eye look. I love the highlights as well. I think this palette really still holds up. It's a different type of highlight than what I've been wanting lately. But I gotta say, it's beautiful and it's so iridescent. It's so pretty. So I think I have a couple of lip options. Most of these I've just not used on camera yet. But I think the one that I want to use is this one from W7. This is of course a clear dupe for the Maracuja lip tints from Tarte. But I don't think we can get Tarte here very easily. And I just wanted to try this one. It's also a lot cheaper. So this is in the shade Hot Sand. And it's the only nude shade that I have. So I have a brown and a pink as well. But I wanted something a little bit more nude. So I'm going to add this lip liner. This is from Glamlite and Frosted Flakes. This came with a really pretty pearly lip gloss. And it's a nice nude, light nude. Okay, so that's the lip liner. Now this is called the Lip Drench, the Ultra Glaze Color Balm. And it's one of those clicky pens. There's a little bit out now. Okay, the color is really nice. And I do like the glossiness. Yeah. I don't think it's quite as glossy as the Wet n Wild that we tried a couple of weeks ago. But it is glossy and it's pretty pigmented. And it doesn't create any weird lines. And I really love the color too. This could be a new favorite. I know I say that every time, but they're just all so good. So yeah, definitely some favorites and some little bit less favorites. But I think overall this face really came together. I really like the look. Yeah, like I said, I like most of these products. The only thing that I'm really unsure about, that I really wouldn't recommend yet, is the LA Girl Face and Sculpt palette. I'm really too unsure about that one. But all the other stuff, I'd say, go ahead. Yeah, so check the description box for the update on the concealer and the skin tint. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you did like the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.